Come closer, seeker. Tonight, we witness not the crumbling of a country or the end of an empire, but the quiet collapse behind a rising star. A deception so polished it stood on a podium and smiled, draped in victory and wrapped in applause. This is not a story of war or revolution, but of something quieter, more personal, the kind of betrayal that looks like success from the outside. Let me tell you the story of Vivian Reed. What happened to her wasn't written in blood, but in bold headlines. Not with a knife, but with omission, with credit reassigned and history rewritten in real time. Her fall came not with a crash, but with applause. She was the architect, the voice behind the victory. A woman who skipped dinners, slept in campaign offices, and rewrote speeches in the back of cabs between events. The ghostwriter of power, the invisible hand behind a movement that promised change. For 5 years, she shaped a man's rise like clay in her hands. She wrote the words that moved the crowds, cleaned the messes that would have sunk a lesser campaign, and believed, truly believed, that the man she served was more than a symbol. He was hope, a second chance for a broken system, a new voice for the voiceless. His name was Dorian Voss, now Senator Voss, a man with a voice like velvet and a smile built for headlines. The kind of man who could make you feel seen, even as he looked right through you. The night he won, champagne flowed through a downtown DC ballroom, filled with political insiders, reporters, and hopefuls clinging to promises of change. Cameras flashed, lights glittered across the ceiling like a manufactured constellation, casting shine on every lie they ever dressed in gold. Supporters cried, donors toasted, and Vivian stood at the back, ignored, invisible, holding a glossy commemorative program in her trembling hands. Her name was gone, where once she was listed as campaign manager and senior advisor. Now, nothing. In her place, a donor's daughter, 27, polished, pretty, marketable. A placeholder with perfect teeth and no history. The future, he called her. She found Dorian in the hallway, away from the lights, away from the stage.
You've done enough. It's time for a fresh face. Someone the public likes on camera.
And then, with the same tongue that once praised her genius,
Don't make this ugly, Vivian. We got what we wanted.
he smiled and walked away. Without remorse, without pause. She always thought the danger would come from outside the movement. She never imagined it would wear her candidate's smile. Backstage, behind the velvet curtain, Vivian discovered the final twist. A speech, her speech, filed and renamed, ghost-written credits given to the newcomer. The platform they built together now stripped of her fingerprints. Even the podcast tour she'd been promised? Gone, handed off, bartered for silence. But Vivian was no fool. She had saved everything. The cover-ups, the edits, the audio. She'd buried the scandals for him. Late-night calls, legal whispers, payouts wrapped in non-disclosure. She knew where the bodies were hidden, figurative and maybe not. She had always been the cleaner, the fixer, and now the forgotten. She stood in the green room now alone, the roar of the crowd on the other side of the wall.
Funny, isn't it? I taught him how to speak to the people, and now I'm not even allowed in the story?
Her phone glowed in her palm. The screen lit her face with cold blue light. Her thumb hovered, caught between two futures. One upload, one click. She could destroy him. She could burn it all down. In 24 hours, headlines would explode. Truth would finally claw its way into the spotlight. But then she saw them, the interns she mentored, one of whom had texted her earlier that day, thanking her for believing in them when no one else would. The little girl in the crowd, clutching a handmade sign. The veterans, the teachers, the disillusioned who had begun to hope again. The the dream, however hollow it might be now, still lived in them. What would truth serve now? Would it cleanse the rot, or burn down the entire house they'd built? Could she live with the knowledge that in revealing his betrayal, she might also destroy the very people she'd once fought to uplift?
Do you kill the myth if it's the only thing holding people together?
That is the blade she now holds. Not in her back, but in her hand. Seeker, the Ten of Swords is not just about endings, it's about the moment after. The breath you take when the pain has peaked, but the healing has not yet begun. It's the crossroads where you must choose between vengeance and vision, between punishment and peace. So I ask you, when the truth is a weapon, do you use it to punish the traitor or protect the dream? Choose carefully, Seeker, because sometimes the last cut is the one you make yourself, quiet, clean, and final. And even when the pain fades, the scar remembers everything.